Hello, everybody. It's a wonderful time to be alive. Our girl has posted new videos. She has a new diagnosis. Everybody in Denny's is watching her TikToks, recognizing her, telling her she smells good. That has happened to my Kermit 17 times at Denny's at 3 a.m. We're also going to be talking about how Amber's mom inadvertently revealed that Amber doesn't tell the truth. I know, surprise, surprise, that Ambi, can I call you Pookie, doesn't tell the truth when she's recognized. Amber's mom says they first ask, hey, are you even this YouTuber? But Amber claims that everyone wants a photo with her. Basically, we're going to get into it, but Ambi's mom is probably telling the truth while Ambi is just pretending she's beloved by strangers who are literally trolling you. Amber, have you ever thought that when people do come up to you, they're trolling you? They're your audience. They're the same people that watch you on YouTube. We got a lot of Amber Reid drama, my favorite YouTuber who's canceled her members only live stream. Did you actually pay $10 for it? It's okay. The ceiling has been taken away from us, the side character we didn't know we loved. Yes, so I think that Pookie, can I call you Pookie, Ambi? Actually canceled the live stream for a few reasons, but the main one, she doesn't want to talk about that she's not single. We're going to get into all this drama. There's a new members only post. This is the fun ever start. All right, if you could not tell already from this ridiculous intro, everything I'm saying is just for entertainment purposes only. Please don't take anything I say seriously because I'm sharing my own opinions, not facts. Publicly accessible information first made public by public figures. Please don't go to these people's channels and leave mean-spirited, negative, discouraging, disparaging comments. Entertainment purposes only. So Amber did miss her members only live the other night. In my personal opinion, she didn't want to go live because basically it has been confirmed on the internet that she is not single, as she has been saying. And I personally believe, this is not a fact, but it is my personal opinion. I'm 100 on this. I believe that what I'm saying is true. I believe she's still with her ex. So that is why, in my opinion, she didn't go live. But I also believe there's something else going on. This is the members only live stream post that she made about the live stream. Update currently. Thank you guys for the supportive comments. It means the world to me. I will not be live streaming tonight. Oh no. Whatever will I do with my night? I went to sleep. I had me a good night and I didn't see her ceiling. So this means I owe you guys 2 hours. I will let you know when I will make it up to you, but don't worry, it will happen. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I appreciate you all more than you will ever know. Okay, how sad is it that people are paying $10 a month and you can't even
not shower.
tell them when the makeup stream is? Like, you should have already rescheduled and you did not because you don't really want to do it. By the way, I have been seeing a bunch of comments that are saying that she is making $6,000 a month from these live streams. Absolutely not. YouTube takes a portion and then she is paying taxes on it immediately, she claims. So she's making way less than that, but what she is making is very good for doing nothing and blocking people and being rude. Anyway, so I believe that this was the right decision, Ambi. Can I call you Pookie? Because in my opinion, but I'm 100 on it. Yeah, definitely didn't want to deal with the fallout of Keem saying, hey, you have a girlfriend. And she's been telling people that she's single and she's not, in my opinion. It's obvious she's not doing thirst TikToks. She told people not to flirt with her, not to write her Instagram DMs. She's not acting single because she doesn't feel single. Anyways. Okay, Amber, people will keep bringing this up. So just because you didn't go live one night, do you really think people are going to drop this? No. I highly advise you, if you are a member of her, membership. This is a vocabulary channel. If you're a member of her membership, definitely keep bringing it up. Keep asking her if she's single. Don't ask about Tommy. Just ask her, are you single right now? And see the lies jump off the screen. It's going to be amazing. Anyways, so what she's doing now is she's posted this video about her devastating diagnosis. It's not really. And basically, now she is pretty much trying to take your attention away from her lying for months on end that she's not single and saying she doesn't have a girlfriend, but she clearly is still in a relationship. It's obvious, in my opinion. And she wants you to look at her health. She wants to, pay no attention to what's going on here. Let me manipulate you. Let me get you to be quiet about me lying to you about for months that I'm not in a relationship when I'm really am in a relationship. Why don't you go and divert your attention to my health? And that's what she always does. Whenever this woman is caught in any kind of dramas, she immediately, as soon as possible, starts talking about a soul crushing event. Or now, she posted this big diagnosis video because she wants to divert your attention. Don't be fooled. Don't ever forget that she's lying to you about, her dating life. Okay. So I believe that there is something else going on in Amber's life that is serious. I don't think it's just Tommy. I think that's why she canceled the stream, but there's definitely something going on. Hey, Amber, you know what I find really not very genuine? Whenever she wants to really make you come back to her videos, because she says throughout the video that she's not getting a lot of views now, right? And she's not. She wants you to return back to her channel, right? So what she says is, oh, there's something going on, but I'm not going to say what it is, but it's very, again, like it's very terrible, soul crushing, along the lines of that it's very wild. And she actually has enough audacity to say to the things that I'm choosing to tell you, but the things that I'm not choosing to tell you are very bad. And I'm dealing with so much behind the scenes. Yeah, she's doing that so that you keep coming back to watch her videos because she actually believes that her audience thinks that she will tell you. She'll never tell you this other thing that's going on. And I find that not genuine. Do not dangle the carrot of extra drama in front of your audience when you don't plan on telling anybody. Here's a thought, Amber. Maybe you should just not talk to people about things that are going on behind the scenes in your life that you never plan on telling them about. She only does that to manipulate you, okay? So this brings us current. Absolute audacity of this woman to title her video Diabetes Results. An unexpected, unfortunate diagnosis with a crying face. She's crying in her thumbnail. This is called misleading metadata, clickbait. Diabetes results with her crying makes you think she has diabetes. You are basically making your audience think that the video is about something that it is not. She doesn't have diabetes, she reveals. Amber, you are continuing to break the terms of service. And one of these days, when your channel is swiftly deleted, we're going to see where life takes you next. She also tells us that she's had a diagnosis of hypothyroidism, and she's going to be going on medicine for that. I can only give you my own personal opinion on this. I think that you should see an endocrinologist, Amber, instead of just running on medicine right away. I don't know what her exact results are, but from what I know, if you have an issue with a certain part of your body, you go see a specialist before going on medicine that has to be taken all the time. So I really do think that she should probably see an endocrinologist. Of course, she is now blaming hypothyroidism for everything that's wrong in her life. This is going to take over for the BPD. Again, as far as the BPD, she has herself stated she was never diagnosed with that. And then when she got called out, she magically said that she was diagnosed. So I don't believe anything that she says. Amber, I wish you all the best with your health. I hope everything works out for you, as always, sweetheart. But you continuously breaking the TOS isn't going to change anything. So you don't have diabetes. She complains that these videos don't get a lot of views. I wonder why. People know that you're not being genuine in them. This is clickbait. This is inappropriate. And one of these days, you are going to be facing the consequences of continuously disrespecting your boss and your boss's rules. What she's doing here is called rage bait. She wants people to rage about the title. She wants people to be angry about the title. Amber, you deserve the views that you get. You have, 100,000 more followers than I do. And you, meaning subscribe to your channel. And you and I are getting the same amount of views. Do you not think that there's something off with that? That you should be getting more people viewing your videos since 100,000 more people subscribe to you? People don't want to watch somebody lying to them 24/7. This is rage bait. More very interesting things from Amber's videos. Okay, so basically, Amber is a deceiver. She continues to lie about things over and over and over again. And the best part about it is that she actually believes that people are not paying attention. Let's start with her medicine. So basically, there was a video that was taken down by YouTube for a completely different reason. It had nothing to do with her saying she can't afford her medicine. But there was a recent video that was taken down by YouTube. And in that video, she starts off by saying, thank you so much to my members, because without, people paying for my memberships, I would not be able to afford my medicine. When people talked about this, she has just a few days ago, or like I believe it was like last week, went ahead on her channel and said that she can afford her medicine. She can afford it, and it's not true that she cannot afford it after telling us that she cannot afford it. Well, now in this new video, she says she went to the pharmacy. They said that it was a bit more money than she had expected, and now she cannot afford it. Look, I know that the excuse that she's going to use is going to be, well, I didn't know exactly how much it was going to be, but it's not like it's going to be $3,000 more. You understand? It's going to be a reasonable amount more, not an unreasonable, unforeseen amount. You understand what I'm trying to say here? Bottom line is, she went from telling us that she cannot afford her medicine. Then she told us that she can afford her medicine. Now we're back to not being able to afford the medicine. This is all I have to say. She is lying about something. She's either lying about not being able to afford it. You were either lying back then or you're lying back now. Right now, I actually don't care what she's lying about. Whether you can afford it or not, irrelevant to me. I will say one thing, and it's going to be the same thing that I told her before about this topic. Amber Reid, if you cannot afford your medicine with your video views and getting as much money as you are getting from your memberships, keep in mind that she's paying taxes and YouTube takes quite a big cut out of they take their money from from what she gets paid for the members streams from the memberships. I am telling you, despite that, it is a very bad sign that you cannot afford your medicine, because remember how I've always been saying that she is going to be punished for her lying, for her constant clickbait. People are not going to be watching her videos if she's telling the truth that she can't afford it, right? Why would you say that you can't afford your medicine? Then you say you can afford it. Then you say you can't afford it. This is why you have a bad relationship with your audience, because you're constantly lying. Look, there's no way that they told her that the medicine was like $5,000 more. You understand what I'm saying? So anyways, here's my point. She is at the moment where she is not making enough money from her video views. And she even says this in the video. She says, my, weekly vlog gets more views than these videos. Amber, have you ever thought about why these type of videos don't get any views? I'm just going to tell you something, okay? I never talk about this topic, but I need to say something that the audience feels. Your audience wants you to get, with the scale. You understand what I'm saying? I don't talk about these topics. I'm not going to make judgments on it. Again, don't care. But the reason that your video here doesn't, like your weekly videos about, whatever your health ailments and whatever, people were used to you getting on the scale and all this stuff. Now that you're not, that's why people aren't watching it as much. There, I hope I helped you. I hope that helps. Amber, you're wondering why people are not watching these videos as much as your weekly vlogs. The weekly vlogs is a combination of your lies. This is just one. My point here is this. If you want people to watch your videos, have you ever thought about going back to what worked in the past? I'm not talking about the mukbangs, but you were much more interactive with your audience. That's what I mean, okay? And now you're not. Yeah, by the way, a lot of you always ask, why doesn't she get on it, the scale? Because YouTube doesn't pay her as much anymore because her views are down. So like she used to make like at least 1,000 as soon as she would do that. Now that she doesn't do that, she's not getting the money. That's why she is, her views are down. Nobody is interested anymore. This is the same story over and over again. No judgments why you're getting onto it, not getting onto it. I don't care. I don't ever talk about that part of her life really on my channel. But since she's bringing up, oh, my views are down, I can't afford my medicine, that's why. Because you're not doing listen to me very carefully right now. Whatever you do to get people entertained and interested in your videos, you have to continue to do it. And I'm speaking solely as not a frog. Some people accuse me of being a frog. How dare anyone think that? There's no proof on the internet that I am one. I'm speaking as a YouTuber, a person that makes YouTube videos. If you cannot keep up with whatever you were doing to get people interested in you, you're not going to get the views. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm doing this in the past and I'm getting the views for that, I have to keep entertaining the audience. You understand what I'm saying? So my point is, Amber, you were either lying back then that you couldn't afford it, or you're lying now that you can't afford it. Okay, two things from one of her latest videos that I didn't get to that I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully we'll keep it short. Number one, so the situation with her babysitting, she has said this before that she babysits for somebody. I have to say this. Of course she could be lying, but if she is telling the truth, this woman cannot take care of herself. She has not been able to take care of herself. She has not been able to be kind to others, and someone is leaving their children with her. That's just a very scary thought. I'm hoping she's making this up, but just something tells me that she is being honest here. Amber would say, "Oh, people don't like me online, but it isn't true. You know me. You know me. What I know is that the biggest lies that you tell are to yourself." It is very scary that this woman could be in charge of children. And here's the thing. I know that some people may be thinking this, and maybe they won't say it when they're consuming my video. Well, she's paying taxes, supposedly, and she's paying her bills, and she still works, and she keeps a roof over her head. By the way, let's not forget that she can't, in my opinion, take care of animals, and 2 animals ran away on her watch. Please, let's not forget that. Well, supposedly ran away. Who knows what happened to them? Anyways, and so basically people may be thinking, well, I mean, what's the harm here? Like, she could sit and just watch the kids. I think the issue is she cannot be trusted around anyone. I had gotten to the point of the video where you see her mom and her hanging out, and she's making like a braid for her mother. Riveting content. And you hear like kids in the background. So, Amber, what you really mean is your mom is going to be babysitting while you watch? Like, honestly, this is just, I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Okay, one more point before we continue. So there's a moment in Amber's video where she says that she has to drink some soda because she ran out of water, and it's a soda that she doesn't like. No judgment here, because again, don't care. Here's what I want to say. First question, Amber, why do you include things like this into your videos? It's called rage bait. What that means is people are going to have a negative reaction to this. She knows this, and it's a way to include things in your video that are going to upset people. You know it's going to upset people, and you're going to make more money because more people are going to watch that part of your video. It's a wonderful time to be alive, girls. Okay. So she says she ran out of water. Fine, she ran out of water. So of course she can never, ever drink tap water. Since you clearly included this in your video because you wanted people to say something about it, here I am saying something about it. You are clearly in possession of cash and money, right? Why didn't you just order water to your house? If you order a cup of ice and you order a Diet Coke to your house, why couldn't you just order delivery from the grocery store or from wherever and, order water to your home? I understand that your mommy takes you food shopping and that wasn't mommy's day to take you, but why not just water being sent to your house? Like, why not? Like, what's wrong with water being sent to your house? You know? And this is why I say it's rage bait. Will deliver anything to your house, right? But not water. I understand that it wasn't mommy's day to take you food shopping, but if you genuinely don't have water and you're saying you don't want to drink, stuff that's not as good as water, just get water delivered to your house. And you know why she included all of this? For rage bait. Moving on. This is a much more funner topic. So Amber always says that she gets recognized in public. There's never any pictures that I've ever seen of anyone posting with her anywhere, okay? And she always says that people compliment her in public at 3 a.m. at Denny's. That happens to my Kermit all the time. And they also tell her that she smells good. I wish I was kidding, but no, she actually said that somebody came up to her at 3 a.m. at Denny's and said that she smells good. If you believe that, I have a very large bridge of Kermits to sell you, but anyways. And she always says that people are hitting on her, making passes at her. Listen, I'm not one of these people that like doesn't believe that people can be interested in her. Of course, some people, show her favor. Who cares? My point here is this. I don't believe the bulk of what she's saying because the stories that she tells are obviously lies. Now, if you're like one of these people where you believe that what Amber is saying is true, then let me direct you to her own video. The best thing about Pookie, can I call you Pookie, is that she always, no matter what, tells on herself. She is just too lazy, I guess, to even edit this out. That's the wild part. Okay. So I didn't really talk about this because what is there to say? And I don't really talk about certain topics that are associated with her. She went to Denny's after the ER. Okay. So when they were, I guess, coming out of Denny's with mommy, Amber and mommy are saying that Amber was recognized. Okay. And Amber tells a story that is clearly not true about how I think this was either in the ER this was happening or it was happening in Denny's. ER Denny's, same meaning to Amber, I guess. Anyways, so what happened here is like, do you even know, Amber, what you're talking about? You were at the ER, then you were at Denny's, then people were recognizing you in the middle of everything. Right. Okay. So this is me in editing. As I was editing the video, someone finally released a picture of Amber and another person that I guess asked her for a photo. It has taken years for one person to actually post the picture. What does that say to you? So what happens is, either at the ER or at Denny's, who cares? Amber says that like these people were watching her TikTok, the one that went viral, and at the same time, it was like the one about like I ordered food and they gave me not what I ordered. Like I really did order an apple. Yeah, okay, of course you did. You're the only person that always gets the wrong food, right? Okay, so basically Amber was like, yeah, they were watching my TikTok, and I was like telling them, oh, excuse me, I ordered an apple. Okay, so this is just a flat out lie, and I'll tell you why. The mathematical probability, I don't know if you know this, a math channel, mathematical probability of this woman being in a place where at that moment people just happen to be watching a TikTok of her is just a very small mathematical probability, because there are so many TikTokers and there's so many viral TikToks. You really think they're watching hers? This is what more than likely happened. They saw her, may have recognized her, and then started watching her TikToks. You understand? The idea that she went and called out to them is just so sad. Amber, this is all you have, isn't it, sweetie? I'm not gonna try to burst your bubble anymore. Let's move on. Okay. This is the best part. This is how, if you're like still, I don't know how anybody could be on the fence about her being a deceiver. The thing is, sometimes people come here and they're like, she lied, so what? Like, I don't really see anyone defending her against her lies. I only see people saying like it doesn't matter that she's a liar. You should never listen to what I'm about to tell you in your personal life, in a Kermit life, whatever. You should never be complacent about being lied to, even about the little things, because it's the little things that create the big things. Okay. So anyways, yeah, really, like sometimes people are like, well, so what that she lied? But if you're one of these people that are still here thinking that she's an honest person, all right. So this is the part that she didn't want to edit out. All right. So her and her mom talk about how she was recognized another time, I guess at Denny's or the ER, who cares? So this is the second time, right? And so her and her mom say it at the same time, what happened in the situation. Her mother says that somebody came up to Amber and said, are you Amber? But at the same time, Amber says they asked for a picture. I'm sorry, picture. Anyways, the point is, I'm having too many moments here. Amber's mom and Amber said it at the same time, what the situation was when she was recognized. One of them is lying. It's clearly not mommy. See how differently they look at the situation? Amber believes that as soon as somebody sees her, they ask for a picture, while the mother is telling you what's actually happening, which is someone may come up to Amber and ask her, are you Amber? Amber, why didn't you tell us that part? Look, they are looking at the situation differently, because I think Amber has it in her head that she's the celebrity. And yes, I agree that she is sometimes recognized. I don't think she's lying about that. But the level at which they are both, two different people, I'm sorry, both Amber and her mother are looking at the situation. So Amber, they didn't ask you for a picture? All this time you've been telling us that everybody asked you for a picture, but actually they're coming up to you and saying, hey, are you Amber? By the way, I'm sure somebody will say this, so I'll save you the trouble. Yes, of course, some people are coming up and saying, hi, are you Amber? Later they're saying, can I get a picture? But the point is, the way two separate people are telling the story is very telling of what's actually going on. The mother is more likely recounting what's actually happening. Amber is pretending that she's this celebrity that immediately, it's not even that they need to ask her if she's Amber. They just immediately need a picture. Well, your mother says that's not what's going on, and you didn't even edit it out. Fabulous. Remember, everyone, the reason I bring this up is Amber spends hours editing her videos. Hours. She says she edits in the bathroom, so that should give you an idea. But yeah, hours of editing videos and spend so much time on her work that she didn't even notice that herself and her mother have a completely different telling of the same story. Maybe people do come up to her and say, of course, "Hey, are you Amber?" But she said they asked for a picture. So I don't think that they asked for a picture. I think what more than likely this explains why there's no pictures posted all the time. And I've said this before. If you genuinely like Amber, are you really going to post a picture online? No. Situation type nightmare explains why there's no pictures. Amber is lying about everybody wanting a picture with her because when her and her mother are both describing a situation that happened, they have a totally different story. The mother says they asked if you are Amber, and Amber immediately says they asked for a picture. Amber, no one is taking as many pictures with you as you claim. Maybe some people are taking pictures with you, but not as much as you claim. So basically, final thoughts on this. Amber is a deceiver, a professional deceiver that we see right through. She's lying about the amount and how much people are recognizing her. Do people recognize her? Sometimes. Do people ask for a photo? Sometimes. She's lying about the intensity with which people are interested in her. That's my opinion. All right. That's about it for today's video. I want to thank you all so very much for watching today. I appreciate you being here. Check out this other video that's popping up here on a similar topic. You may enjoy it. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments down below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye.